Welcome to the Order of Furman Theatre and Furman University Theater's production of the New Works Festival, sponsored in part by the Furman Humanities Center. At this time, we ask that you please silence all cell phones. Please refrain from the use of photography and audio or visual recording at any time during the production. In the event of an emergency, please remain calm and listen for instructions from our house staff. In order to ensure performer and patron safety, audience members are asked to wear masks or face coverings at all times during the performance, intermission, and talkback. Please take a moment of reflection to acknowledge the ancestral land of the Cherokee people on which Furman University sits. It is with gratitude that we honor the land and the people who have stewarded it through many generations, and we challenge you to learn from their wisdom. Thank you for joining us. And now, the Student, Faculty, Alumni, and Guest Artist New Works Festival.
Storm Clouds for Lonely Hearts by Quinn, Xavier, Hernandez. Scene, we fall apart. Claire's apartment, her bedroom more specifically, neat and orderly. Outside, winds churn and rain pours. Claire and Jenna burst through the door leading to the rest of the apartment. They are both soaked to the bone, but neither of them care. They are deep in the throes of each other. They are rolling in the deep, soul and spit swapped. The room becomes caught up in a tornado of lust as clothing unravels, sheets are upturned, and the air becomes thick with sweat. Thunder pounds when Jenna throws Claire onto the bed. There is the tigress on the prowl, and then there is Jenna. A woman awoken. She knows no fear now, just this moment. Just Claire's lips and the way their hips bump against one another. The feeling of skin on skin and breathlessly pushing together in the vain attempt to join as one. And there is also Claire. She's been around the block a time or two before, but never in her life has she imagined this dance. Caught up in a hurricane, she is a plastic bag melding to the shape of the wind's desires. Jenna is that wind, and God, Claire knows she has never yearned for an endless gust before in her life. Their hands sink lower and lower and low. Jenna and Claire disappear into a black hole. A tornado tears through the space, and everything is tossed into oblivion. Blackout. Scene, falling slowly. A restaurant. Not quite expensive, but not somewhere you would go without at least a somewhat special occasion. Claire sits alone. She wears a red dress and sensible heels. Her purse is at her side. She is waiting, perhaps a touch too long, but perhaps not. Jenna enters dressed in a white blouse and black pants. They notice each other, and we can begin to hear the gentle pitter-patter of rain. Neither woman notices this.
Claire?
Yes. Jenna, right?
Yeah, didn't I, do we, have we met before?
I don't... Oh, wait, were you... Did I see you on the bus yesterday?
Fremont, line 18.
Yes! I got off right before the ground closed for it.
And I had to get off right when it did.
Oh. I thought it was you. I thought to myself, is that her? It looks like her. She looks exactly like profile pictures, but I wasn't exactly sure. There wasn't time to, take out my phone and check. I should have said something.
No, that's all right. It was a busy day. May I sit down?
Oh, yeah, totally. There you go.
Sorry, I first. Okay. Have you ever been here before?
only once.
Oh, for work. Oh.
Yeah. Are you okay?
What? Yes. Yeah. I'm fine. It's just, I meant, have you ever been in this situation before?
Eating dinner?
No, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not very good at, this is all new territory for me.
Oh, yes. I mean, not a lot, but yes, I have. 3 times.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Don't be. Everyone starts somewhere.
I've been on dates before, but, well, yeah, this is just the first date where I was actually interested in the other person.
Oh, really?
Oh, not that what I meant was, that came out all the wrong way. I'm
Don't apologize. You don't have to.
okay.
You're really flustered.
What?
Hey, you relax, okay? I think it's safe to say that I'm interested in you too. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
Maybe this wasn't the best idea. I think I ought to go.
Okay? If that's what you want. It's okay, Jenna. I get it. Really, I do. The first time, it's tough. I left after my first day with
can we just start over?
Of course.
Claire?
That's me, Jenna, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Would you like to sit down?
I'd love to.
Have you been here before?
Never. Have you?
Once. The roast beef is to die for.
Oh.
Something wrong?
I'm a vegetarian.
Well, I'm sure we can figure something out. There has to be something good on the menu that doesn't have.
There's always salad.
Well, yeah. A salad?
Honestly,
Honestly.
I never want a salad.
Good to know. How about this then? If there's not something you want, I'll take you anywhere else. Anywhere.
You don't have to.
I know. I want to.
Okay.
Blackout. Scene. One touch and it begins. A crowded bus. There are no seats available. Jenna sits with her purse on her lap, checking her watch. She's nearly late, and it shows. Everywhere else is calm before the storm. A garbled message from the driver bleats out. The bus comes to a stop. No one moves. After a moment, Claire makes her way over. bus starts to move again. The bus takes a turn. Claire braces herself. The bus keeps going. Another garbled message from the driver. The bus lurches to a halt. When they look at each other, we hear the sound of a chime.
Sorry.
I'm sorry.
The rain begins to pick up in intensity.
Shit.
The bus starts moving again a moment later. Intense rain, blackout, end of play.
Moratorium by Nath. Cold industrial white lights snap on instantly. An older teenage boy and a middle-aged woman. Boy sits on the end of a dramatic shades lounge sofa. He is clean and attractive in any way. He is calm and indifferent, numb, maybe. His words are slow and careful. Woman sits tall in a matching bergère armchair adjacent to the sofa. What about Tom's brother? Do you and him still
Left 3 months after it happened to the coast, the other coast. I wrote him a letter and sent it to the address, and nothing back.
That sucks.
It's okay.
Did you talk to him at the funeral?
No.
Do you remember the funeral?
Where did you go?
What?
Your trip? You didn't pick up last week, so I found your landlord or boss or whatever.
You
to
did
ask
what?
him. He said you were away. Where did you?
I took some time to rest. I don't owe you an explanation. What prompted this invasion of privacy?
I needed you.
Excuse me?
I needed you last week.
Yeah, that's good. I like that. You needed me last week. Our meetings monthly. I decide. I tell you what day of the month. Once a month. And you told my fucking boss. We talked about this up front. I let you know what date of the month. Don't call Gary again.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh!
Do you want some water? I got some in my bag.
Shut up. We're starting. Your best friend died. And you were there. And you don't remember what happened. It's been a year. 11 sessions, and you still haven't let me take you. You still don't remember. Hello? Your best friend died, and you were there, in the house, and you don't remember what happened?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to remember what happened?
Do we need to reschedule?
I got you so close to that house. You love Tom. That boy was your best friend, and I need you in that living room. I can take you there. I know you're ready to go in there. Really ready. Remembering that boy's death. There's no greater cure for you.
It's all I can think about. Not knowing what he said to me. In the end.
I can push you in. I lost somebody. I know death. He's been inside of me.
She grabs her stomach and winces in pain. He notices. Her head drops and she groans, but her eyes remain on Boy. She twitches and grunts in pain. Boy cannot possibly leave now. This isn't the woman he had come to know in the previous sessions or conversed with in the past few minutes. This is a zombie, a horrifying animal. Boy is frozen. Woman pushes the pen and pad back on the table and rolls to her side, shrieking in pain. Ah! She falls to the ground, holding her stomach and crawls, hyperventilating. Woman exits. A long moment. Boy frozen. When Boy knows she is out of range, he reorients himself and grabs his water bottle from the bag, chugging the whole bottle.
Okay.
He looks around the room and coffee table. He stops to focus on the page. He leans in and cautiously flips through its pages. He lands on one page and takes a long moment to read it more thoroughly. It shocks him. He slowly returns to his original position on the couch. He can hear someone walking towards him. Her heels are loud.
Drink this. It's a microdose of anesthetic for suggestibility, mixed with some juice. Do you like
What are you doing to me?
No. Don't worry. It will help with our process.
Okay. What is our process?
It's something new I've been trained to facilitate. We call it prolonged exposure therapy. It's a form of psychotherapy utilized to bring traumatic memories back to the light without triggering a state of arousal. I'm going to direct your breathing patterns while leading you to the target memory. Tom. Okay. You're starting in this room, my office. Do you know where we are?
Yes.
Do you feel safe here?
No safer than anywhere else.
Bring your shoulders up and down. Again. Good. Roll your head around. Release the neck tension. Yes. Keep doing that. Relax your jaw. It's punch the one. Hold your grief there. Rub the hinges with me. Look, watch, see. Shake it out. Now get comfortable. Sink into this sofa. It's old, but it can hold you. Really hold you. Felt much worse than you. Melt, but keep your eyes here. Entertain your lungs, nothing else. Feel the pain to use them. Your lungs. Ancient pain, ancient nipples. Breathe all your shit out. And wait. Wait to bring any good air back until pain forces you. You should be laying down. Put your legs up and lay down, eyes closed. Stop clenching. I can see you pushing out. Push out! He's alive in you, but you won't push.
What?
Inhale for 5 seconds. Hold it for 5. Inhale 5. Hold 5. Exhale 8. In 5. Hold 5. Out 8. In. Hold. Out. In. Hold. Out. In. Hold. Out. Keep that pace. Your body should expand and contract with your lungs. Just fill yourself up. What is your life saying to your body? Can you feel him pushing against the cushion, against your ribs, against your stomach? Is he kicking?
What was that?
It's working. Continue.
No. What was that?
Continue breathing while your focus shifts to the rest of your body. Feel your weight on the sofa's weight on the floor, this room's weight in the house, this house's weight on the ground. How heavy is the ground? Come back to the sofa's weight, to your weight.
This is dumb. I'm not even relaxing. I'm just not even...
Pay attention to that stupidity. Your stupidity. How does it feel? Are you annoyed? How does it feel in your chest and arms? Are you anxious? Collect what you feel towards me, towards this room, towards anyone outside this room, and then exhale those feelings and let them float away through the veins.
Good. I think those feelings are coming back down. Yeah, I don't want them to go. I know you're fucking with me. What are you going to...
Let them stay. Put them in the corner. Can you put them in the corner? Speak!
They want to stay on the carpet, actually. The one to the left of me with the black and white stripes. I like that carpet.
Okay. Whatever inhibitions you feel about this process, just stuff them into those white stripes. Keep breathing like we talked about. Now, think about the black stripes on that carpet. You see what they look like?
Yes.
When you're ready, I want you to visualize yourself squeezing into one of those stripes. Can you do that for me?
Yes.
Okay. Close your eyes. Start with your toes. Dip them inside of the work. spine, very slowly. Ankles and shins first, then knees, then thighs, and then...
I'm already all the way squeezed in, except my head.
That's fine. Does it feel okay?
Like a musty hot tub.
And that's fine.
Yes.
Okay. Just use your head inside. Don't freak out. Breathe. Inside, just try. Just try it, see what happens.
Okay. I'm in all the way. My hair's not wet, it's not musty anymore, it's... I don't know. I don't know what it is. Where am I? Everything is black.
You're in the beginning.
Blackout.
Now, you can choose what to fill it with.
I want to fill this with Tom. He was the only...
Hold on. We can go see Tom if you follow my lead.
Okay.
The sound of woman searching through her legal pad.
A year and 7 days ago. Where are you?
What time of day?
More paper shuffling sounds.
After dinner with your parents? Where are you?
I'm walking to Tom's house for a surprise. He called me. He said he had something big for me. He couldn't say what.
Are you excited?
Yes.
Would you like to see him now?
Yes.
You're going to open your eyes and arrive at his house on my count. Okay?
Yes.
On my count. 1, 2, 3.
Warm, flashy lights snap on and a gentle symphony of noises. Aircraft, dogs, machinery, trees, traffic, chatter, waves, and wind. These noises are somehow in tune. He is standing alone and motionless upstage center. No woman, no furniture.
Where did you go?
Entering from upstage center, woman stands by boy's side, like an equal. Her outfit is different. Now she's wearing a long white dress like a goddess. She looks where he looks, patiently.
I'll be here the whole time. I've been with you this whole time.
Okay.
Are you at the house? What does it look like?
I'm cold. I want to go inside, but the yard is so long, so far away.
Can you walk across it?
And I tried, the house was further away.
Can you run towards it?
Can't get closer.
You need to push.
The suburban symphony grows louder and harsher.
I can't.
You must.
I'll crawl.
The symphony peaks with new sounds of transaction and violence. As boy slowly struggles over the ground like a war hero, a woman follows him, looking ahead at his destination. He stops far downstage, panting, and curls into a ball on his side. Woman waves her hand through the air, and the symphony crashes into silence.
I'm at the door.
Okay. Would you like to go inside?
No. Yes? I don't know.
Take your time.
I'll do it.
Can you open the door?
No.
May I?
Woman walks forward and lays down behind boy, leaning onto her back elbows. Her legs are spread out. Boy is laying in the plate spinning between them. He is pitiful.
Wait.
Yes.
Thank you for helping me. Hello? Please just do it. Send me inside.
I will see you soon.
As woman lays down slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae onto the ground, the symphony returns to full volume and peaks right as woman jolts herself into a full bridge, possessed. We see this image with boy under her for a moment. Blackout. And the symphony clatters and clatters and clatters for a long moment, until all is finally silent. Cold, industrial white lights snap on instantly. The furniture has returned. Woman is alone, reading through her legal pad. She's wearing her work clothes again. She's very pregnant. She pulls a ringing phone from her pocket and answers.
Hello? Yes, hello. No, your son didn't show today. No, I'm sorry. If I hear from him, I'll let you know. Okay. Keep me updated. And you'll still have to pay the invoice. There was no cancellation notice. Sounds good. Okay. Thanks. Good night.
She hangs up and stands, holding her baby bump and looking at where Boy used to sit. She smiles graciously. She is tall and proud. She is satiated and comfortable. Blackout. End of play.
Interior, Space Station 420. The time? Well, it's space, so it is kind of always night. Hello, hello. My name is the narrator, which is quite convenient, as that is also my role within the story. The play starts, well, right about now. I'm going to take you on a journey. You are now on a space station, and also I make all of the rules. Look around. Imagine countless flashing lights, levers, and buttons that make planes look low-tech. Imagine screens all around you, displaying data that measures everything that could ever be measured. Look at the people to the right and to the left of you, to the right and to the left of you. What do you think? Who are they to you? Do they look like they have COVID? I mean, I hope they don't have COVID. That'd be awful. Show if they have COVID, right? Right, okay. I hope they have COVID. Whatever. Don't think about it. And that is my cue to start the story. Back to the space station. Cassius, early 20s, is sleeping at his workstation. His desk is coated in empty pizza boxes and half-eaten packets of astronaut freeze-dried ice cream. The only light in the room comes from 6 monitors displaying images of a rough, rocky, gray terrain. On one monitor, we see outside the space station, written at the top of the building in glowing red letters. A sign reads, Space Station 420. The entire room shakes for a brief moment and Cassius jolts to his feet. He defaults into his ninja fighting stance, thrusting his arms around in quick, concentrated bursts, like something you might learn from a month of Taekwondo lessons at Tommy's Pizza and Dojo. After a moment of ninja-like room surveillance, he regains his composure and sits back down in his elementary school-style red metal chair. He turns back to his desk, and sitting there, he notices a bag labeled Moon Rocks. He opens the bag and pulls out a nugget of neon green glowing bud. That's weird, man. It wasn't there before. Cassius shakes it off as he reaches for a cardboard box under his desk and celebrates.
Oh yeah, baby.
From the box, he pulls out a green glass bottle, a vintage yellow grinder. His mouth dangles open as he lecherously ogles at the plant, and he drops the bag to the ground. As the bag falls, we can see a warning label on the back that reads, "Danger, not intended for human use." He reaches up in the box again and pulls out a blue lighter and smokes up. Cassius reclines in his metal chair and switches on a lever. A Jackie Chan fighting compilation video plays in the middle monitor, and he reclines. He switches another lever, and a second monitor displays a large clock, and it reads 6:46. Again, the entire room shakes, but this time it doesn't stop. Cassius tries to stand up, but he can't. He falls over as shaking escalates, and then flash. Cassius shields his eyes from the bright white flash and stumbles over. Interior, Lady Six Eyes Club at bathroom, night. Cassius comes to. He rubs his eyes and looks around. The room is beaming fluorescent light that flecks off the paper white tile coating the floor. On the other side of the room is a green glowing door, similar to the glow from earlier. Next to him is a 6-part high-tech automatic sink and a tentacle dryer. Cassius stumbles to his feet, leaning on the automatic sink as a support. As he does this, the sink turns on and blasts a stream of water right into his crotch.
Not again.
The green glowing door swings open. Bursting through the door is Marty. He is the strangest thing that Cassius has ever seen. 3 feet tall, pink, with 4 legs, he is dressed in slime, bumps, and ridges. Cassius looks down at Marty's pants. He's wearing brown cargo pants with 4 leg holes and has the exact same stain in his crotch.
It's not pee, I swear. Well, it is pee, it's just not mine.
Someone peed your pants?
Yeah, I guess, it would appear so.
Marty reaches into his pocket and pulls out a gray and purple Regal pen. The pen looks extremely high-tech and complicated. He clicks the pen and a red web of light shoots out. He traces the light over his sopping wet pants and they dry instantly. He tosses the pen to Cassius.
Click the button.
Cassius clicks the button on the side of the pen and a hologram of a woman appears. She looks weathered and torn. She glances at Cassius.
Help me, please.
Top button.
Marty hustles over and snatches the pen. He clicks it furiously and the hologram disappears. A red web shoots out and he scans it over Cassius to dry his pants.
You're welcome, by the way.
Who was that?
Don't worry about it, it's none of your business. My name's Marty, by the way, but you can call me Marty for short. You are?
Cassius, look, I'm completely willing to overlook the fact that you're an alien if you just help me figure out what's going on here.
Meow, meow, meow.
I gotta go. Hold on to this for me, will you? And please, 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 don't let anything happen to me. I'll find you later.
Marty turns and bustles out the door.
You girl, Daddy has treats.
Hey, wait! What is this?
Cassius studies the pen in his hand. After a quick beat of absolute confusion, he pockets the pen and opens the green glowing door. Interior, Lady Six Eyes Club, night. Eyes wide, he's in the middle of a bustling room. Figures similar to that of his encounter earlier are dancing and partying. Pink and neon green lights flood the club while drinks fly. Cassius scans around for a moment as the creatures dance on poles, shoot pool, and chat at the bar. In any other situation, Cassius would love this, but not now. A long pink tentacle stretches across the room, slithering along the floor and smacks Cassius on the rear. He jumps and turns as the tentacle coils around his waist like an anaconda. He attempts to fight it off, but it's too strong. The tentacle pulls him all the way across the club to its owner, Emily. Interior, VIP lounge, night.
Hey, big boy. Your name's Emily, but I'm sure you know that.
Emily sits on a red leather couch, taking up all 3 cushions at once. Her royal purple skin pops and bubbles like an active volcano, except on her face and 8 tentacles. Record-breakingly large spectacles sit on her face, seemingly held up by nothing, covering all 6 of her eyes. Next to her, a red velvet rope separates her from the rest of the club. A massive line of adoring alien fans oogle and drool over her.
I think you've got the wrong guy. I just got here, I'm a lot confused.
Oh, no, honey, I definitely have the right man. I seen you standing over there and I said, ooh, I have got to have this man. Well, you should know this about me. I usually get what I want.
Cassius can't hold her gaze. Emily is not easy on the eyes.
I'm flattered, I really am, but I need to find somebody.
Who's that, sugar?
His name is, well, I don't remember what his name is, but he's short with 4 legs, he's kind of stumpy, he's pink. Earlier, I think he had pee on his pants. That seems notable, I don't know.
Was it his own or someone else's?
Someone else's.
From behind the couch, we hear laughter.
Out here, now.
Kent and Beck, Emily's bodyguards, step in the light for the first time. They are identical twins and stand in a staggering 8 feet tall. Covered head to toe in scales, you can still see muscles rippling beneath. These guys are the polar opposites of Margaret.
I thought we talked about this, boys. Keep it in your pouch. No more peeing on people. Not in my club. I don't know why you have to say that anymore.
Wasn't us.
Cassius reaches his hands in his pockets, and he feels the pen from earlier.
Oh, I just remembered. He gave me this thingy.
The mood shifts, sharpens. All 6 of Emily's eyes dart to the pen.
Where did you get that?
I told you, the guy from earlier gave it to me.
You can't have that here, son. I need you to hand that over to me.
It's not mine.
I don't think you understand. Drop the retroactive operating system.
The what now?
ROS. That thing in your hand, it's called a ROS. And I have a strict rule in my club. No space-time bending devices allowed inside. So if you could just set it down on this table, then we can get back to business.
Space-time bending? What do you mean is space-time? Who even was that guy? Dude, what the F?
Who are you and why are you speaking my thoughts?
Oh, well, I am like you, Cassius, except I'm cooler and smarter and better looking, and I can definitely run a lot faster.
Not sure what that has to do with anything, but since you were the one that brought it up, I'm pretty sure I can run faster than you, so that doesn't even make sense.
No, you can't.
How would you even... No. It doesn't matter. Who are you? Where did you come from? And what is going on?
Well, I am swooping in to solve the plot. Look, that pen you have is extremely valuable, and don't give it to anybody, even Martin. All right, good. Peace out.
What?
Hello? Are you listening? I need that pen, honey.
I'm sorry. I can't do that.
Look, son. I think you're a sweet guy. I really do. I can sense that about you. But you have no idea what you're doing. Now I'm going to give you one more chance. Be a dog and hand me the pen.
Cassius glances down at the pen and notices a button on the bottom half of the pen labeled ICE. Aha! In case of emergency. He pushes the button. This will surely save him. A pen this high-tech is definitely equipped with a defense system. Well, a stream of ice cubes shoots out from the top of the pen onto the ground.
Shit balls.
At the same waking from earlier rumbles the entire club. Panic ensues. Emily gestures towards the boys. Like a magnet, the Roz immediately latches onto Cassius's leg. The needle protrudes and punctures the skin.
Well, get him, you idiots!
Hey. Calm down.
Cassius spots a door and makes a break for it. He bursts through the door to a dark room and slams it behind him. Interior, storage closet, night. Whew. Cassius rips the Ross off his leg and now observes the green glowing lights pulsating throughout the device. Panting, Cassius wipes his brow and feels the wall for a light switch. He switches on the lights. The fluorescent lights illuminate the storage area for the club. Packed with boxes and papers scattered around, a sleek metal table sits between Cassius and Reggie, 60s. Reggie is wearing cargo shorts and a fishing hat. Unfortunately, this outfit is also accompanied by sandals with knee-length white socks. She wears dark sunglasses because she's blind.
Who's there?
Reggie directs this to the adjacent wall.
Oh, thank God, another human! I thought it was just me here, and I was like, oh, in another world or something, dude. You won't believe it. I was so worried.
What'd you say?
I'm sorry?
What'd you say? Stop. This pleases me.
I was just saying, I'm glad to see another human.
I made it very clear that you should stop this nonsense at once. Humans have been gone for quite some time now, and I think it's better not to bring it up.
What are you talking about? Humans?
Silence!
Look, lady, I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know how I got here, and I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to get back. Obviously, humans are real. Like, I am one. I mean, I definitely was sure before, but now I'm starting to doubt it because everyone else looks like aliens, and there was a hologram girl, and the one actual human doesn't think that I'm a human, so that's confusing. And
You are human, you say.
yes, ma'am.
You must come near me and listen close. You said you wanted to go home? I can send you home. I have just enough life force left in me to get you back to Earth. But you must do something for me.
Oh, anything.
I need you to sing me a song.
A song, like any song?
Yes, sing to me.
I don't know. I'm not much of a singer.
Sing to me.
All right, you ready? 1, 2.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In other words,
We're gonna stop at that part.
Very good. Yes, this pleases me. I am much better than I was before.
sweet, awesome. So, how do I get back?
Yes, I will send you back. Let's see. All you have to do
Cassius pulls out the pen and clicks the top button. The same hologram from before shoots out. She looks downtrodden and weary. She gazes around the room, wide-eyed.
Where am I? What is this place?
Oh, don't worry about that. You're safe here. What do you need?
Oh my goodness, my hero. Well, actually, it would be really helpful if you could let me borrow that pen of yours, please.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Don't!
Why not? She seems nice.
I'm young, you should narrate. I would highly recommend you heed my warning.
It's not like you know everything.
But I do.
Whatever. I'm tired of you treating me like I'm stupid and telling me what to do. Here you go, innocent hologram lady. You can have the pen.
He hands the pen to May, early 20s. Immediately, May clicks the button and her hologram form turns into human form. Her weary demeanor quickly sharpens.
Ooh, it feels so good to be back in my skin again. Thank you, you precious idiot human. Thanks to you, I can finally fulfill my destiny and finish what my mother started. And for your kindness, I'll spare your life.
What?
Now, with this rod, I can rid this planet of its disgusting creatures and create my own perfect world. I was trapped in that pen for so long, but now my power is endless. I'm going to fulfill my destiny, and it's starting with you.
Meg turns to Reggie, who has been quietly meditating in the background. She clicks the pen, and a beam of light shoots out and hits Reggie right in the stomach. Reggie turns into a cat on impact.
Meow, meow, meow.
Wait, no! What did you do? She was about to help me get back to Earth.
It is my destiny. I cannot stray from the path of greatness. I am the harbinger of death. I am the goddess of chaos. I am Meg.
Righty then. Before you do all that, is there any way you could maybe help me get back to Earth?
Earth? Pitiful planet, but yes, I suppose I could send you there. Step aside and I'll make a portal.
As she's speaking, the ceiling breaks and rubble tumbles on top of May, crushing her.
Shit.
Marty is on top of the pile of rubble.
Oh, hey.
He looks down on this pile of rubble and sees a lifeless hand sprawled out underneath the pile.
Did I just crush someone? Oh, God. Oh, God, oh, God.
You crushed the person who was helping me get home. Fantastic.
I totally just killed someone. Oh, no. This is bad, man. This is not good.
Hey.
They're gonna know it was me. My life is over.
Hey.
Everything I've worked for, my hopes, my dreams, all down the drain.
Oh, get it together, man.
My toy train collection. Who is going to dust off the tires 3 times a day?
Cut it out.
Marty starts hyperventilating. Cassius goes around the pile of rubble to the sink on the side. He pulls a cup from the cabinet and fills it with water. He goes to hand it to Marty when he remembers the ice-making pen. He grabs the pen from the rubble and clicks the ICE section.
Wait, no!
Too late, Cassius kicks the pen and ice shoots out into the cup. He proudly presents it to Marty. Rumbling shakes the room. As the rumbling subsides, Cassius looks to Marty as his pants fill with liquid.
Give me that.
Marty snatches the pen back and flips the top. The red web of light shoots out and he dries himself.
Does that happen every time you push the pen?
Yes. Which is why I typically don't use it just to fill up a cup of water.
Who's getting water for you? Also, I didn't even fill up my cup, so I would like that back, please.
Cassius grabs the pen, but Marty doesn't let go. They wrestle over the pen, tugging back and forth around the room. Snap! The pen breaks in half and they're both blown back. The broken pen emits rainbow-colored flashing lights in every direction. The lights flash faster and faster until... flash. Interior. Space Station 420, continuous. Cassius wakes up back in his metal chair at the station. He looks around. Everything looks the same. The Jackie Chan fighting video is still playing on the middle monitor. He hits a lever, and another monitor displays 646. Cassius does a double take. Is he back? The empty bag of moon rock sits next to the bong that is still on his desk. He looks in the bag and puts everything quickly back in his box. Shaken, he gets up and walks out of the room. As he leaves, something falls out of his pocket and clatters to the floor, and he doesn't notice. We see on the ground a gray, purple pen. Blackout. Oh. We will now have a 10-minute intermission.
Case of the Corpse Bride by Alysha Matthews. Characters. Amy Sterling is murdered before the play starts, so she doesn't have any lines. She was supposed to marry Gareth in a few months. She's the daughter of Eldon and close with Serena. Gareth Stevens is also murdered before he can get any dialogue. He was supposed to marry Amy, and he is also close friends with Neo. Neo was close friends with Gareth, an emotional being who tends to appear emotionless. Fiercely loyal, enjoys the simple things, and has a cool, laid-back sort of vibe. Minka Brown is a private investigator hired to look into the case. Bubbly, but will be stern when she needs to, analytical, and looks for the funny side of some things. Her favorite color is probably blue. Ruth Williams, Minka's partner and friend. Generally gentle and kind, but will throw hands if she needs to. The observant muscle of the duo, extremely empathetic. Serena, Amy's nanny/mother figure. She's worked at the manor from before Eldon was born. Basically, she's really old. Eldon Sterling, Amy's father, emotional, sentimental, reminisces about the past often, and a little bit of a workaholic. Chief Robert, chief of police, stubborn and kind of stupid, but he thinks he's smart. Sprinkle of internalized misogyny, sprinkle of racism. Obviously got the job because he is a white man who played his cards right. Neighbor 1, nosy and creepy neighbor. Norman, one of the individuals on staff at Sterling Manor. He seems pretty chill, but fully believes that blood is thicker than water. Act 1, Scene 1. Lights up in the halls of an expensive first-class house. The floors, walls, and expensive decorations obviously are well taken care of. An assistant enters. Perhaps he's holding a basket or something of that nature. He walks down the grand hall and opens a door. He enters the room and turns on the lights. We see a body dressed in a large, impressive wedding dress and veil on the floor. He screams and lights fade. Scene 2. Lights up in the same hallway. The body is still on the floor. Police swarm the room. Crime scene tape is streamed everywhere. Minka and Ruth stand over the body. Chief Robert enters while he talks.
Of course you two were hired to look into this. You two should have better things to do. Another one for the books, I guess. All right, what have we got here?
We don't know much right now. We just got here. This is Amy Sterling. She's the daughter of Eldon Sterling. We worked with him a lot in the past, so... Anyway, one of the staff found her like this morning.
Okay, so a random filthy rich gal is dead. What's with the dress?
Amy's not random. Anyway, the news has been buzzing about her upcoming wedding. A billionaire's daughter married a guy who works just above minimum wage. The media is having a field day.
Maybe the guy just wanted her money, so he killed her.
He would have waited until after the wedding. He can't touch a penny until then. But hey, wait. Why would she be wearing her dress so early in the morning?
This dress is massive. Can we get the name of the person who was with her?
What?
Amy's dad is rich, right? So there's no reason for her to be awake at this hour. Also, her wedding dress is massive and delicate. So if she put it on, she probably had hell.
So she was up really early for no apparent reason, and she couldn't have been alone.
Oh, maybe that person can tell y'all what went down.
Exactly.
One of the police officers milling around taps Ruth on the shoulder. They step away and talk on the other side of the room. Minka turns to say something to Robert, but is cut off when Eldon and Serena stumble into the room. Serena's clothes are a little dusty, and she is holding a green jacket. Eldon is hysterical. Serena tries to calm him down.
Where is she?
Calm down, dearie. The police will tell us everything we need to know soon.
Excuse me, this is a crime scene. I'm gonna have to ask you both to leave.
Please. That's my daughter.
I'm so sorry, sir, but we can't have you contaminating the scene. Please step out in the hall.
Robert takes Eldon's shoulder and gently guides him outside the room. Eldon's sobbing slowly fades. Serena turns to follow, but Minka stops her.
Excuse me, I'm so sorry for your loss, but may I ask you how you knew the Sterlings?
Thank you. You're so kind. My name is Serena. I'm the Sterling's nanny. I've been here for a long time. I was hired before Eldon was born, and I practically raised Amy.
I'm Minka Brown, PI. My partner Ruth Williams and I are working with the police on Amy's case. Is it all right if we meet sometime tomorrow so we can talk?
So nice to meet you. I do hope you get justice for Amy. Now that the wedding is off, I'm free whenever you're ready to talk.
Of course. Thank you.
Serena smiles and exits. Ruth turns away from the police officer and approaches Minka.
Okay, get this. We can't talk to the guy who found Amy.
Why?
He's in a coma. He had an accident on the stairs after finding the corpse.
Shoot, tell me there's good news.
Of course I do. The rest of the staff is willing to sit down with officers and tell them what they know, and the officers started the process already.
Excellent.
Also, we have a lead on the room. His name is Garrett Stevens. He lives on the other side of town.
Did someone tell him?
I don't believe so. The police only just found the body. We might have to wait for an officer to head over there.
All right. Oh, you just missed Amy's father and her nanny. He's hysterical. We might not get much out of him right now.
Poor guy.
Yeah, how unfortunate. Anyway, the nanny's been here since Eldon was born.
She's still staying.
Working in everything. She seems to be taking this well. I know everyone grieves differently, but she's taking it really well. Almost suspicious is what I'm saying.
Right. But let's not start pointing fingers so soon in our investigation.
Of course, you want to be fair even when there's been a murder.
I find that's the best approach. Picture this with me. Amy's body is lying there. The bag that the dress came in is on the bed there. Nothing else seems out of place.
Right, so no struggle.
No struggle, no obvious bruising, no bullet holes either. So she wasn't taken by surprise or sniped or something.
Poison, maybe?
It's a good hunch.
Let's assume it was permanent. How does that impact what we're seeing right now?
Depends on how fast the poison acts. If it's slow, she could have had it at any point yesterday or this morning. If it's fast, she could have had it right before she dropped.
And she would have dropped whatever that poison was in.
Then that thing would still be on the floor or something. How would we look around?
Minka and Ruth start examining the carpet and under the furniture near Amy's body. Ruth eventually finds something under a dresser and calls over a few police officers. Ruth steps back as the officers bag the object.
Could be nothing, or it could be something.
Good find.
Thanks. Oh, if you're ready to go, that officer I was talking to earlier said that we would be able to get the autopsy results tomorrow.
Sounds perfect. Let's get going and see if Gareth has any insights that could help us.
The duo exit and lights fade. Scene 3, noon. Lights come up on Garrett's front yard. It is a small, modest house. The house and the yard have been kept clean and neat. Everything is obviously less expensive and less dramatic than the Sterling's manor, except it looks like the door has taken a few hits. Minka and Ruth are walking up towards the door. They smell something weird. Ruth points out the scratches and dents in the wooden door.
Wonder what went down.
Same here. Whatever happened, the person wasn't looking to cause destruction. They just wanted to get in. The rest of the house and the yard is still in good condition.
Good point. You smell something?
I think so. Paint, maybe?
Definitely chemicals. Maybe the house was covered in something or something?
Ruth knocks on the door. It shakes a disturbing amount even though Ruth didn't pound that hard. Ruth looks at Minka, who motions for her to announce herself.
Hello, this is Ruth Williams, PI, and my partner Minka Brown. We just want to talk.
Ruth glances at Minka, who grins and gives her an enthusiastic thumbs up. They wait for a few seconds before Ruth knocks again. She knocks while speaking.
Mr. Stevens, we just want to talk.
The door swings open and nearly falls off the hinges. Our duo jumps back in surprise. Ruth gets closer to the open door, but then she makes a face. She's practically gagging.
Oh, God.
What is it?
Minka hops up on the steps to join Ruth while Ruth speaks.
That smell.
Bleach.
The duo share a look, and lights fade. Scene 4. Lights up on the front of Garrett's house. The yard is now swarming with police, and caution scene tape is everywhere. Minka and Ruth are in the middle of the yard. Robert exits the house with another officer, who he shoos away as he approaches Minka and Ruth. Some reporters run up to Robert just before he reaches the duo. He waves them off aggressively. The reporter frowns and turns to interrogate some of the loitering officers. At some point during the following exchange, Neighbor 1 starts lurking in the background.
All right, so you two were on to something. Someone killed Garrett, then scrubbed the place clean.
Is his body still here?
Surprisingly, yes. He was shoved in a closet. Poor guy looked like he was stabbed several times and took an awful beating.
So, a messy murder and a thorough clean. Seems like the villains have done this before, so why would they leave the body?
Maybe the killer or killers were planning on coming back to hide the body.
How did we get here?
We should look into the people who knew Mr. Stevens and find out what kind of things he was into. Maybe this is a business deal gone wrong.
Maybe. You think he knows something?
I would think so. He seems nosy enough.
Robert wanders off to join a group of police officers. Minka and Ruth both walk toward neighbor one.
Excuse me, sir. My name is Minka Brown, PI, and this is my partner, Ruth Williams. We're looking into your neighbor, Garrett Stevens. Can you tell us what you know about him?
Oh, I see. You think just because my neighbor said I would know everything about his schedule of life is that the next one, huh? Like one of those know-it-all neighbors in those detective shows? You know, maybe I have a New York accent, not nearly enough time to talk to you, but I tell you everything you need to know while exasperated about some, like, what, 3 kids? Is that how you think this is going to go down?
No, sir,
Because that's almost exactly right. I'm a chronic people watcher. I'm also retired with way too much time on my hands. It works.
All right, sir. Can you tell us about this morning? Did you see Mr. Stevens or anyone else come and go?
Yeah, so every now and then Gareth works the graveyard shift. He came back home just before dawn.
was there someone waiting for him? Or did someone come before or after Mr. Stevens returned home?
I didn't see anyone, but there are many ways to skin a cat. Start with the ears, for example. You know, maybe, actually, that wouldn't work too well. The left paw? Does it matter if you start with the left or the right? I've never actually skinned a cat before. Maybe the tail? Not my idea. Under the belly? Do cats have belly buttons? I have to look into this.
Sir, do you know if Mr. Stevens had any enemies? Maybe he had some money trouble with someone?
No, Gareth was a good kid. Wasn't one to worry about money. Ask a different question.
Okay, did Mr. Stevens get into some other type of trouble with someone?
His upcoming wedding? Someone have a problem with him marrying Amy Sterling?
Oh, yeah, of course. Everyone thought that was a bad idea.
A few seconds of silence while our duo waits for neighbor one to elaborate. He shrugs. Perhaps he munches on a mysterious old person snack. In some way, he signifies that he has no more relevant information on this topic.
Can you tell us a bit about who Mr. Stevens spent time with? Does he have any friends or family that might be closer to him and know a bit more?
His family lives out of state. Only friend that came around all the time. His name is Neo, something like that. He doesn't live far from here. He's always either here or at the coffee shop between 5th and 7th.
Thank you for your help, sir.
Glad I could help. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have dinner with Mrs.
Wait, it's lunchtime.
Time's an illusion. Well, maybe I'm really moody. Then again, aren't we all?
Neighbor one hobbles off stage. Ruth and Minka share a shrug. Perhaps one on face palms and the other chuckles. They both exit and lights fade. Scene 5, later that evening. Lights up on the street in front of Garrett's house. Neo enters from behind the audience. He's on his phone. Maybe he has earbuds in, and maybe he's dancing as he zigzags through the aisles, going in no place in particular. Perhaps he even steps over empty chairs or scooches down some rows. Maybe he's singing along to his music as he walks. Whatever he does, it's evident that Neo is a carefree soul who's just vibing through life. After a few minutes of his wanderings, Minka and Ruth enter. After quickly glancing around the room, Minka points to Neo, and the pair start trying to catch up with him again.
Excuse me, sir? Neo, right? We'd like to talk to you.
Sir, just a second.
Neo clearly doesn't hear them. Maybe he stops for a moment like he hears them, but he starts dancing instead. This man has no care in the world. He starts making his way towards the front of the audience. Minka keeps on his trail, but Ruth decides to keep a distance and observe him. Through all of this, Minka and Ruth keep calling Neo's name and ask him to stop and talk for a second. Finally, Neo reaches the front of the audience. He looks up at Minka, and he slowly pulls out his earbuds. Ruth jogs to the front of the audience.
Oh, hi. Were you talking to me?
Yes, sir. I'm Minka Brown. This is my partner, Ruth Williams. We're private investigators looking into the death of Garrett's fiancée.
Oh, yeah. I heard about that. I was just on my way to go see him. He must be a complete mess right now. Come on, his house isn't far. I'll just sit with him while you talk to him.
Neo. It's Neo, right? Did the police get in contact with you?
No. I haven't been home all day, and I haven't gotten any calls either. Why would they want to speak to me? What do they want?
Well, they just want to talk with you. We'll find you after they speak with you.
What do they need from me? Nothing good happens when they're involved. If you know what they want, just tell me.
The police. They have some unfortunate news for you. Regarding your friend Garrett, something happened and we need to talk to you about him.
Something happened? Listen, I don't know what the police think Gareth did, but I promise you he didn't do it. Just come on, his house isn't far, he can clear the sufferance.
Neil, we came to you because we can't ask Garrett for anything. He's gone.
Gone? What do you mean gone? He's where? Wait, you said you had some unfortunate news? I thought you meant Amy. Do you mean something happened to...
We found Garrett around you today. I'm really sorry.
Neo starts pacing the space. He's trying his best not to freak out.
No way. Why? How did... What happened?
I'm not sure how much we can share, but we're looking into it with the police.
So you think whatever happened was shady?
Yes.
No, this can't be happening. We talked last night.
When you two talked, did Garrett say anything suspicious? Did he have any concerns about anything?
No, not really. I mean, he was at work, so it wasn't a long conversation, more of like a check-in. Oh, there's no ways. No.
I hope you don't mind a personal question, but how long were you two friends?
We met when Gareth moved to town, so it's been a few years now. I've lived in this town my whole life, so I thought I'd show him around. Turns out we both liked our coffee black, and we've been friends ever since. You know, we were planning on going to the beach next week. A low-budget bachelor's trip, if you will. I hate the ocean, but Gareth loves to surf.
What do you want to do now?
Not sure. Maybe I'll go anyway. We go to that beach all the time. Every time we go, we try to find a sand dollar. Gareth could never find them.
Why a sand dollar?
You'd never seen them before you moved here. He didn't live by the coast before. Oh, I thought we would have more time. I'm really sorry. Look, is there anything I can do to help?
Yes, can you tell us a little bit about what Garrett did for a living? Would he have had any enemies? Maybe someone that didn't like that he was getting married?
Neo takes a seat on the stage. He pats the stage as if inviting the duo to join him. Minka gets comfortable where she is, but Ruth hops on the stage next to him.
Yeah, so, Gareth actually worked at one of Mr. Sterling's new startups. That's also how he met Amy. He loved it there. He made good money. Hours were good. Yeah, he pulled some early mornings and late nights sometimes, but not too often. His coworkers were nice. He did like a customer service type thing. I don't think he had any problems there.
Were there any problems when he started dating Amy?
No, not for work anyway. A couple ex-boyfriends came around and made a lot of noise, but Gareth held his own and they stopped bothering him eventually. But around 6 months into their relationship, Gareth went to Amy's house for dinner to meet her dad. He told me that the staff were acting weird after he introduced himself.
Weird as in...
You know, he didn't really say, just weird. Anyway, after that dinner, Gareth kept talking about all these weird run-ins with strange people. He didn't go into details though. He tried to play it off, but he was definitely concerned about it.
Was it something he could have taken to the police?
Nah, I don't think it was that deep. Even if he did take it to the police, what would they have done?
That's the truth. Did Mr. Sterling like him?
Mr. Sterling liked Gareth a lot. Gareth was actually going to get promoted. I don't get it. Everyone loved Gareth. There's no reason for any of this.
Was anything weird happening to Gareth before he died? Maybe he kept running into the same people, or maybe he felt like he was being watched?
Actually, yes. He kept telling me how he kept seeing this guy just watching him.
Like, literally watching him?
Yeah, same guy each time. Gareth would see him at the coffee shop, his work, sometimes when he was working in the yard. He didn't really mention what he looked like. Just black hair and a green coat. I guess I should tell you this too. I was walking to Garrett's house the other day, and I saw this lady just standing on his porch.
Did you see her face?
Nah, not really. It was getting dark. Maybe if I saw her again, I'd recognize her. She didn't say anything either. No clue who she was or why she was there.
Do you know where she went after? Did you follow her?
Nah, she basically disappeared. I know better than to follow strange women after dark.
Ruth and Minka wait a few seconds for Neo to elaborate, but he doesn't. He looks from Ruth to Minka for the next question.
That's all our questions for right now. Thank you for your help, Neo.
Yeah, glad I could help. Just let me know if you need anything else.
Of course. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, one more thing. I'm not a big fan of the cops, that's pretty obvious, but you're working with them, and I get the feeling I can trust you. So please, catch whoever killed my friend.
For a moment, Neo allows them to see how deeply sad he is. He's lost his whole world. We'll do our best. Neo puts his earbuds back in and throws his hands in his pockets. He starts meandering to the back of the audience, and he moves with significantly less joy than before. He eventually exits. Our duo watch him sadly for a few moments. Minka joins Ruth on the stage.
Ruth, I honestly don't think we're much closer to catching our murderer.
No, I think we have most of the pieces. We're just missing a couple.
Maybe.
What are you making of this so far?
I think Garrett's murder was planned. There's no way that a bride and groom can just end up dead in the same time period as each other. But Amy, I have no clue. Her murder and Garrett's murder are definitely connected by what and by whom remains to be seen.
Speaking of Amy, since we have no more sightings on Garrett, we should probably go check in with Robert and see if he has anything juicy.
That man could have everything to solve the case and still have no clue what to do with it.
They begin to exit.
Robert has made exactly 0 positive contributions in his lifetime. He's always like, oh no, follow me. Dude, it's all right there.
Ruth and Minka start to walk off stage. A reporter runs on stage.
Excuse me, guys, can you tell me a little bit more about
Rutha and Minka share a look before bolting off stage.
the case? Wait a minute.
The reporter sprints after them and lights fade. Scene 6 that night. Lights up on Robert's office. His desk is covered in papers and manila files. There are also stacks of manila files all over the room. There's definitely a computer monitor on the desk. Robert is standing in the middle of the paper chaos. He looks a bit lost. Perhaps he is sifting through all the papers and files. He picks one up, opens it, and plops it back down somewhere. Wow, there are a lot of papers. He moves around some more files as if looking for one in particular. He bends below the desk and picks up another huge stack of papers. Gosh, why are there so many papers? An officer walks in with a large stack of, you guessed it, papers. He plops it down in front of a frustrated Robert. Holy moly, why are there so many papers? Ruth and Minka enter. They pause with surprise as they survey the vast amount of files. They make eye contact with Robert, who shrugs in defeat. As our duo enter, they try to step over the piles of paper, an impossible task. Ruth and Minka make a big show of hopping over stacks of paper before arriving near Robert's desk.
Hey, Robert, if you're not busy, we'd like to check in with you about Amy's body and the staff's interrogations.
Robert looks around his mess of an office.
Nope, not busy. The report came in today. I just have to find it.
Tell me there's a method to his madness.
No method, just madness.
The trio sigh collectively. They start searching the messy office. Ruth pops up with a gasp and a folder in hand, but groans when she opens it and sees it's the wrong folder. She apologizes and everyone throws themselves back into searching. This happens a couple more times with other characters in various parts of the room. Eventually, Robert throws his hands up in defeat.
It's gone. It can't be here.
If you brought it in here and left it here, then it has to be.
There's no way we can keep searching this mess.
Did you put the report in a particular place? A drawer or something?
No, all the drawers are filled with last week's reports.
So what's all this?
Yesterday and today.
You're kidding.
I wish.
The report has to be here somewhere. Is there a place we haven't looked?
We checked all the places that make sense, but then again, nothing in this room makes sense.
I feel like it's right under our noses.
What's this?
Ruth bends and picks up a folder behind the desk. She holds up a green folder.
I don't know. It looks like every folder in here.
Huh? Robert, that folder's green.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
That's a manila folder?
No, Robert, it's green.
It's not.
Ruth picks up a red pen off of the table.
Robert, what color is this?
Yellow.
Well, that's kind of cool, actually.
What is?
You're colorblind.
And that's cool.
I think it is. It's something fun to talk about, like at a party or something.
You kids are something else. Ruth, let me see that folder.
Ruth hands Robert the report. He thumbs through it. He takes time to read it while nodding. He wants the duo to think he's understanding the file. They're not buying it. Then he posts it defeatedly and hands the file to Minka. Minka opens the file and begins thumbing through the report.
Oh, these are the results from the pathologist. Maybe this pathologist can put us on the path to find our culprit.
report back to Robert.
Thanks for the help. We'll go see Eldon and Serena tomorrow. We'll pass on any info they give us.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, actually, I've been thinking, and maybe you two should take a step back, indefinitely.
I get the sense you don't mean for us to step back just from this case.
You're correct. I just think it's time you two do something else with your lives. I mean, you can't solve crimes forever.
You did.
Well, yes, but...
You did it. You're paying your bills easily. So are we. Same result, different methods. What's the issue?
I just think you two are young women, and maybe you should be settling down, or...
Respectfully, sir, keep your sexist opinions to yourself. I don't have to quit my job to start a family. I don't even have to start a family. I can do whatever I want. Now, unless you have genuine concerns about our ability to do our jobs, I need you to keep your thoughts to yourself.
Calm down. Just relax. It was only a...
Just stop. We'll solve the case. Then call you to handcuff the bad guys at the end like we have always done. Think about it for a second. How many tough cases have we solved for you? And now you want to have hurt feelings? Yeah. No. We're doing good work. And there's still more to do. We're in the stuff now.
There's a moment of tension. Minka steps between them.
Okay, so how about this? We get back to doing what Mr. Sterling asked us to do, and we'll let you know if things turn sinister again.
All right.
Good. Good. Ruth and I are going to head out.
Right.
But we'll need the interrogation notes?
There are no notes from the interrogation. The tape won't help you either. And before you ask, you can't talk to them. They're all under further investigation.
Why?
The staff all kept saying the same thing. There is no room for traitors.
Cuts to black. Scene 7, the next day. Lights up on the living room of Sterling Manor. A loud knock echoes through the halls. Serena enters and begins to cross the stage. There's a green coat hanging near a bookcase. Serena pauses to stuff it in a nearby closet as an afterthought. As she turns away, the closet opens just a hair, enough that the jacket can be seen if you look closely. Perhaps she calls out and says she's coming. Serena exits and then returns with Minka and Ruth. There's a distant sound of cameras snapping and some shouts.
The media has been so invasive lately. So sorry to keep you waiting. It's just been me and Eldon here.
Oh, really? Where's the rest of the staff?
Oh, Eldon thought it would be best to give everyone some time off. Now that Amy's no longer with us, I think he's trying to decide what he wants to do.
Serena smiles. The duo can't discern what the smile means.
All right, well, is it all right if we ask you some questions? And if Eldon is available, maybe we could talk to him too.
Of course. He's up in his study right now. I can answer your questions and I'll send him down. But first, some tea.
Serena motions for the investigators to sit before shuffling out of the room. Minka gets comfy on one of the sofas, and Ruth starts to wander around the room looking at the elaborate decorations and picture frames that hang from the walls or sit on various surfaces.
This house is so pretty. Do you think Serena decorated, or did they get a designer to do it for them? What are you looking at?
Family pictures. Kind of looks like they're in chronological order.
Yeah.
Here's Eldon, his siblings, I think his parents. He's definitely the oldest. This one must have been taken before he got married. This one is just him and Amy as a toddler.
Where's the wife?
This one's the newest. Eldon and Amy must have been taken recently. Serena's in all of them.
Of course she is.
It's just that she's...
Serena enters. She holds a tray of tea and cookies, and she places them on the coffee table in front of the sofas.
I wasn't sure what you girls like, so I just got some black tea and sugar cookies. I hope that's all right.
That's lovely. Thank you.
Serena takes a seat on one of the sofas. Ruth goes to sit near Minka.
So, how can I help you two?
We were wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about the staff schedule, particularly on the day Amy was killed.
Of course.
She sits up a little straighter. This is her pride and joy.
I run a tight ship. We have 10 staff members to cover this huge house. If we had any more, there'd be a mess, and if we had any less, the same would happen. Mr. Sterling starts his day off at 7, except for Saturdays. He sleeps in until 10. Every day except for Saturday, 2 staff members must be ready at 5 a.m. to do chores and anything else Mr. Sterling needs. They stay until 9 a.m. Then 4 staffers come in to replace them. We switch out in 4-hour increments till 10 p.m. when Mr. Sterling goes to sleep. Amy clings to no schedule. I've been her personally.
What about the morning she died? Did she get up early?
The morning Amy died, her dress was supposed to come in. I had a doctor's appointment and I told her not to mess with the dress. It's a very delicate dress. I didn't want to go through the trouble of mending it if she ripped it. Of course, Amy does what she wants.
That dress was massive and delicate. She needed help to get into it, right?
Yes, you're right, she would. I suppose she reached out to one of the staff members for help.
Do you know which staff member might have been there?
I have no clue. There were only 2 staff members working at the time the dress was supposed to come in.
One of those 2 staff members is the one that's in the hospital, right? All right, we should talk to him.
His name is Norman. He's at Hopedale General Hospital.
Thank you. We'll be sure to pay him a visit. I think that's all we need from you right now.
How have you been doing?
I'm all right. I'm just having to plan the next part of my life a little sooner than expected. I miss my Amy too. She was always so excited, always so ready for the next adventure. She takes risks without calculating them first. Her energy was so contagious. When she was a little girl, she convinced some of the staff members to let her slide down the stairs with a basket. I remember that grin right before she zoomed down the stairs. Thank God I was there to catch her. Silly little thing would have broken something.
Serena chuckles. She glances toward one of the doors as if Amy would appear.
If only she would have listened.
Listen to what?
Oh, everything. She was one of those who was determined to find the things out for herself instead of heeding advice. A fatal flaw, one might say. You know, I've always wanted a daughter. My late husband and I had our boys. I love them all dearly, but a girl would have made my home complete. I think Amy filled that void a bit. I know Eldon loved her dearly, but I'd like to think I filled the space in Amy's heart as well. We both knew what we were missing, but we just never spoke of it.
I hope you don't mind me asking, but when did your husband pass?
It's been about 20 years. He was sick for a while before he passed. My boys are all grown and have their own families and are living their lives. I guess I have to see if one of them doesn't mind living with their mother again.
Just out of curiosity, you've been working here at the manor for a while. How did you get started here?
That story is unfortunate, yet it brought a strange amount of light to my life. I won't go into the details, but the Sterlings offered me a job when my family was in a rough place. They were kind, but their version of kindness is a bit delusional.
I think I understand. Oh, I just remembered something. One last question. Was Amy allergic to anything?
Oh, yes. Apples. Apples used to make her break out in hives.
No other allergies?
No, there wasn't much holding Amy back.
Thank you for your time.
You've been very helpful in our investigation.
Of course. Is there anything else I can help you?
I don't think so. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Well, I'll go get Eldon for you. Perhaps more tea and cookies as well.
The duo nods happily, and they both thank Serena. Serena shuffles out of the room. Ruth stands and starts roaming the room again. She's still looking at pictures. She hasn't seen the coat closet yet. Minka readjusts herself on the couch.
So, what do you think so far? Any hunches?
I have a few. I need a few more details before I start pointing fingers.
She sees the jacket poking out of the closet.
But being in this house is giving me more to think of.
What do you mean?
Ruth is about to explain, but Eldon enters. He's hunched over a bit, and he looks as if he's seen a ghost. His clothes look a bit wrinkled, and he's so tired. He tries to smile for the sake of his guests, but it lacks the confidence it once had. Minka stands when he enters, and Ruth joins her where she stands. Eldon shakes hands with Minka and Ruth.
Hello again. The last time we saw each other, we were investigating that strange bank in France. I wish the circumstances of our meeting again were different.
It is so good to see you again. I'm so sorry for your loss. We didn't really know Amy, but...
Oh, that's right. I never got the chance to introduce you. How unfortunate. She thought so highly of the two of you. She really hoped to meet you one day.
How are you?
I'm all right. Maybe one day I'll soon be able to say I'm doing well. Amy was my whole world, and she knew it too. We did almost everything together. We planned on taking a trip before she got married. Last hurrah, if you will.
What were you going to do?
We hadn't decided yet. Somewhere with mountains, maybe. Amy liked to ski. I preferred to stay up at the lodge. I've had one too many tumbles in the snow. Amy was an adventurer. She had a list of places she wanted to visit before she died. She tended to drag me along, but then she met Gareth, and after that it was always him.
I know that didn't feel great.
Not at first, no. Then I realized my little girl was growing up, and I couldn't be her adventure partner forever. I would have to have my own adventures without her, and I've come to terms with that. Garrett's a good kid anyway. I couldn't have picked a better future son-in-law. Oh, does Gareth know? As someone reached out to him, I should have called him as soon as, poor guy. He must feel awful. I couldn't imagine. Well, I suppose I could.
Mrs. Berkeley, have the police been in contact with you?
Not really. There's a reason I asked you both to work with the police on my behalf.
Well, Mr. Sterling, something unfortunate happened.
Unfortunate?
There's no good way to tell you this. We went to speak to Gareth yesterday, and he's been murdered.
Dear God.
Eldon drops his head in his hands. Ruth moves to sit next to him and squeezes his shoulder.
That boy would hurt a fly. You could have done this.
We'll get to the bottom of this. We will.
I know you will. Have his parents been contacted? I've never met them, and from what I understand, his parents moved away a while ago.
I don't know. We'll make sure Chief Robert takes care of it.
First Amy, and now Garrett. Unfortunate, that doesn't even begin to describe this. But you two didn't come here to watch me grieve. Is there anything I can do to help your investigation?
Yes, we were hoping you could answer some questions, mainly about Amy.
Of course, whatever you need.
Serena told us that the staff starts their day early. Does Amy get up around that time?
Under normal circumstances, no. But she was planning her wedding, and she would get up early on days she was expecting a delivery. She wanted to see it herself. Amy was a perfectionist, like her mother.
On the day she died, what came in?
The dress?
Do you know who helped her put it on?
No, she didn't want me to see the dress. She was worried it would spoil her big day. I had some errands to run anyways.
Oh, Serena's doctor's appointment.
Eldon looks confused for a moment, but before he can answer, Serena enters with more tea and cookies.
Don't mind me, just dropping these off. I grabbed you some fruit this time.
Thank you, Serena. The other day, did you... Apples? Apples, Serena, we don't keep apples in the house. We haven't had apples since...
Oh, I know, dear, but the supplier had surplus, and I thought we should finally have some. They're very good. I've had several already.
Serena, this is...
It's all right, dear. We have to move on, and apples are a part of it.
Serena squeezes Eldon's shoulder and exits.
I'm sorry, it's just Amy was allergic to apples. Just being around them would break her out in hives, so we never kept them in the house. She had a peanut allergy too. That was more deadly. She got those from her mother, I'm afraid, but Serena thinks I need to start moving on, but...
Sir, can you tell us a little more about Serena?
Serena has been here since before I was born. She helped raise me, and then when my wife passed, she helped me raise Amy. She's never left me. She's kind and helpful to the point of self-sacrificing. I don't know how I would have made it this far without her. I'm not sure what she'll do now. With Amy gone, she could retire if she wanted to. I guess it would depend on what I decide to do.
How did your wife pass, if you don't mind me asking?
She died in childbirth. There were some complications that the doctor didn't catch, or I guess I should say the doctors weren't attentive enough to catch. Her death is what inspired me to open up birth clinics. It was one of the first business endeavors I attempted. Something about providing a place for other women to have safe births. It made me think I was helping my Grace.
Was that her name? Grace?
Yes. She inspired everything I'm doing now and everything I've ever done since. She was amazing. I've never met anyone quite like her. The light of my life. And now I've lost the most precious thing she's ever given me. And somehow I have to live with that. All we ever wanted was for us to be together. I hoped when Amy got married, I'd be able to enjoy her families together from a distance, but death, it brings this weird amount of silence, hollowness. No one prepares you for that. I keep looking for her, both of them, the things I love and the things they love. Storms, sunsets, strangers' faces. I know I won't find them, but I look. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to dump on you two. Serena is kind, but she hasn't been much company lately. Is there anything else I can help you two with?
No, you've done more than enough.
Actually, would it be all right if we look around?
Of course, of course. Whatever you need. All the staff are taking a few weeks off, so you have the run of the place.
Thank you for being so kind.
Of course, of course.
This is a bit random, but that jacket in the closet here, that's super cool.
Thank you. I designed it a few years back for Serena's family. They were having a gathering and wanted something that matched. Green means harmony. She thought it was perfect for her family.
That's so generous of you.
It was no trouble at all.
Eldon shakes hands with Minka and Ruth before exiting the room. Ruth starts to wander the room again, and she focuses on certain pictures this time.
Where do you want to look first? Maybe we want to retrace some of the staff steps from yesterday morning?
Wait, come look at this.
Minka gets up to join her. She speaks while she walks.
What you got?
An old picture of Serena. She looks super young. That must have been her family and their cute little home.
Whoa, some of that background looks familiar. Do you think that house is nearby? Maybe she still lives there or something.
Wait, hold on.
Ruth crosses the stage and points at another larger picture. It's an older picture of the manor before its major expansion.
That house is the same as the one in the background of this picture.
Minka joins Ruth on the side of the stage and looks closely at the picture.
Oh my word, you're right. It's the same house.
I wonder if it's still there.
You think it would be?
I know that there's a garden house out there. Maybe this is that same house.
You're onto something.
I'm not sure if there's anything useful out there. Come on.
Minka hurries to exit. Ruth pauses and glances again at the green jacket peeping out of the closet. She exits. Lights up on the gardens outside the manor. It's a gorgeous garden. Lots of colorful flowers and various types of bushes and trees. If fairies were real, they would live in this garden. There's an old wooden house somewhere, almost buried in the foliage. There's a tall metal fence off to the side of the stage. Minka and Ruth enter from behind the audience. They start making their way to the stage while talking.
It's beautiful.
It certainly is. Wait, do you see that? There.
They hop on the stage. Minka points at the house hidden in the bushes. They start checking the perimeter of the house. They try not to bother the bushes that have grown so close to the house. Eventually, Ruth waves Minka over and points out a basement egress door. Minka tries to open it and fails miserably. Ruth shoos her aside and yanks it open easily. They both take a second to peer into the abyss.
I'm heading down.
No, you're not. You don't know what you'll find down there.
Minka, we have little to no leads. This is the only option.
Just wait. Let's talk this through a little bit more.
Minka.
Suddenly, there is the incessant sound of cameras flashing. Then there is silence, like a calm before the storm. After a minute, reporters and camera people climb the fence and charge towards the duo. Chaos. They trample the fence in their face and flock to the defense's alarm starts to beep. There are some shouts off the stage.
You're the detectives assigned to Amy Sterling's murder. What can you tell us so far?
Are you sure this was actually a murder?
What are you wearing? Can you give us a play-by-play of the process?
Do you truly feel qualified for this type of work?
Some of your fans are not happy with you working with the Sterlings again. What do you have to say to them?
The reporters continue with the rude, invasive questions for an uncomfortable amount of time. The camera people stay closely with the reporter as they run around trying to capture as much of the scene as possible. The media mob completely surrounds our duo. Ruth manages to army crawl out of the mall. She crawls back towards the basement entrance and climbs in. She shuts the door behind her. Eldon security enters and starts to remove the reporters and camera people. Lights fade. Eventually the reporters' questions and the camera sounds do too. Scene 9. Lights up on the inside of Garrett's house. The house is small and modest. There are only the essentials, save a few sentimental decorations. It's very clean, but a little dusty since it's been shut up since Garrett died. A trapdoor flies open in the middle of the room. Ruth pops up, covered in dust, hacking and coughing. She gives herself a minute to process where she is before carefully climbing out of the trapdoor. Her phone rings, and she scrambles to pull it out of her pocket to answer.
Hello?
Dude, you ditched me.
I know, I'm sorry. I had a thought and I was trying to pursue it. I was afraid I would lose my chance if I stopped for too long.
I get it. I would have ran when I saw an opening. Those reporters were ruthless. Oh wait, I guess I am too.
Anyway, where are you?
The tunnel leads to the inside of Garrett's house. I'm standing in his living room. I found the closet. I think he might have stashed me. Nothing else really seems out of order.
Convenient that there's a tunnel from the manor to Garrett's house. You think he or Amy ever used it?
Maybe, but it's so dusty, I doubt it gets used often.
Still, that narrows it down a lot. Oh shoot, hey, I gotta go.
Yeah, no worries. I'm going to look around a little bit.
Try not to touch anything. I'll tell Robert about the tunnel.
Sounds good.
Ruth hangs up and she starts pacing the house. She makes a point to focus on the little decorations that Garrett does have. She looks closely at some of the pictures. Suddenly, something on the floor catches her eye. She stoops to look closer. Ruth whips out her phone to take a picture. She sends a text. She's about to exit when she notices something behind a couch. Ruth uses her foot to slide it out enough for the audience to see. It's a green jacket. Cuts to black. Scene 10, later that evening at the hospital. Lights up on Norman's hospital room. Some hospital workers are coming and going. Norman is laying propped up in a hospital bed. He's woken up from his coma and he is feeling sort of woozy. There's a plush seat near his bed. There's a green jacket thrown over it. Minka enters. She pauses at the door of the hospital room. She knocks. Norman gives some sort of affirmation that she may enter the room. Minka stiffly approaches the hospital bed.
Hello, my name is Nika Brown, PI. I'm part of the duo assigned to this case.
Yeah, I heard about you two. Where's your partner?
She's chasing a lead. We don't divide and conquer often.
Gotcha.
I was told that you were the one that found Amy's body.
Yeah, that was me.
Could you tell me a little bit about that?
I mean, there's not much I really remember. Dad had me move for you. I was dropping off her laundry and she was just dead. I'm wearing that dress that came in the night before. I screamed and ran out of the room and I didn't realize how close the stairs were. Down I went, and I woke up here.
Right. Do you know if someone helped her put on a dress?
No clue. I wasn't at the manor that night.
Norman, what are your thoughts on Amy's fiance?
He's alright. I know he isn't well liked in some circles just because he was marrying Amy.
Are you aware of what happened to him yesterday?
Not really. Am I in some kind of trouble?
I don't know. Should you be?
If I am, it's not my fault.
What's not your fault?
I'm not sure. Listen, I just do as I'm told, and I make an honest living working for the strings. I'm not trying to mess that up.
Understood.
Is Garrett okay?
He was found dead a couple hours after we found Amy.
Dead?
It seems like his injuries did him in.
Norman groans and covers his face with his hands. Minka watches him critically.
Is there anything you'd like to tell me?
Norman sighs again and moves his hands to look at Minka. He thinks over the offer for a second before his face becomes stony.
There's no room for traitors.
Understood. You've told me enough anyway.
Wait, I have?
Yeah. We have.
Minka exits. Norman is still trying to figure out what just happened, and lights fade. Scene 11, the next morning. Lights up on Robert's office. It's significantly less cluttered than before. He stands in the middle of it proudly. Minka bursts into the room and she sends a pile of papers flying. Robert groans and she starts apologizing profusely.
I am so sorry, but I'm a bit in a hurry. Has Ruth come by yet?
Nope. Just you bursting in here all emotional or whatever.
You should have asked me to meet her here. You'll never guess what she found.
Eldon and Serena burst in as well. Their entrance sends another couple of piles of papers flying. Robert groans again and keeps gathering them. Eldon and Serena both start apologizing. Eldon bends to help pick up the papers. Serena bends as if she's going to help too, but all the characters insist she does not do that. Ruth enters closely, followed by Nina.
And as per usual. Anyway, I'm glad you're all here. Thanks for responding so quickly to my text.
Of course. Anything to help you too. What did you have to share with us?
Robert, can I see the autopsy results on here?
Robert sadly surveys the mess of papers on the ground, but he lights up when he suddenly spots the report. He snatches it up off the ground and happily hands it to Ruth.
Thanks, and good eye.
Ruth opens the report and glances through it as she speaks.
Now, I have a pretty strong hunch about who murdered Amy and Garrett. Would the murderer like to confess before I expose them? All right, more fun for us, I guess.
Ruth confidently closes the report and tosses it on Robert's desk.
So, on the morning Amy died, she got up early and to try on her dress, which had just arrived. That same morning, Serena had a doctor's appointment, so Serena wasn't there. Eldon took Serena to her appointment, so he wasn't in the house either.
Eldon glances at Serena, then back at Ruth with a confused look. He doesn't interrupt.
Garrett was on his way back from work. Leo was asleep.
My day starts at 11 a.m. and no sooner.
Norman was working. The chef vouched for him, so as things stand, we're all in the clear.
Are you saying you can't figure out who murdered my daughter?
We're not saying that.
We would be saying that if Amy's estimated time of death was actually the morning we found her.
Wait, what are you saying?
Pathologists believe that Amy died the night before her body was found.
Also, the dress didn't come in the morning. It came the night she died. So everyone's current alibis are now out the window.
Almost everyone's alibis. Eldon went to bed around 10 p.m. Norman was off the clock and completely unaccounted for. Neil was out with a friend. Serena was home. And since the rest of the staff was already home for the night, I assume she helped Amy put the dress on. Am I right so far?
Everyone looks at Serena. She hesitates, then nods slowly.
Oh my God, you can't be serious.
For whatever reason, you didn't approve of the wedding. You just went along with it for Amy's sake.
You knew Amy was allergic to peanuts, so you brought her a little juice and threw some peanut oil in it. Just enough so she would taste it, but enough that it would kill her.
Which explains the cup and why you didn't mention Amy's allergy.
But you didn't stop there. You got Norman to go to Garrett's house the next morning before his shift. You told him and a few others to rough him up. They went through the front door, but you used the tunnel. You went after they returned from beating them up and you delivered the final blow. You used a knitting needle. The officers found the one you used to kill him, but you must have dropped the other.
Ruth pulls out her phone and shows the group a picture of a knitting needle on the floor of Garrett's house.
That's why there was only one staff member working the morning Amy's body was found. And also why your clothes were so dusty when we first met.
Then you paid off Garrett's neighbor, not to rat you out if he saw you or heard anything. You didn't account for one witness, Leo. He saw you scouting out Garrett's home, and he also saw Norman wearing his green coat in the area several times.
That's for sure the lady I saw.
I got all of that figured out, but I can't figure out why. Wasn't Amy like a daughter to you?
Sabrina, please tell me that there's been a mistake. You helped raise Amy. You couldn't have done this to her.
You got her prints on the needle. She had to have done it.
What did Garrett have to do with all this? I get he was going to marry Amy, but there are other ways to break up a wedding.
Sabrina, please say something.
During this exchange, the characters start to corner Serena in the center of the stage. She looks around wildly, looking for an escape. but she finally stops and prepares to stand her ground.
A Sterling will never be a daughter of mine. Adopted or in marriage. They took everything from me, and you want me to allow one of them to marry my grandson? Never.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Yeah. Time out. What did we just miss?
Gareth was my grandson. You really think I was going to let him marry Amy, the daughter of the people who stole my home and sent me across town to live in that itty-bitty hut, and they got to expand their grand mansion?
Stole your home. You said that the Sterlings helped you and your family.
I know what I said. Do you want to know the truth? You want to know the truth? My father worked hard, bought our land fair and square. We even built a little house on it. It wasn't much, but it was ours. Then the Sterlings decided they wanted it for their big revolutionary expansion. So they had us kicked out and relocated to a poor part of town. They offered me and my family jobs at their mansion as compensation. Compensation! There's no happily ever after in that. My mother made me swear to get revenge, and that is what I'm doing. We built a tunnel between our old house and the one that the Sterlings threw us into for such a time as this. My husband thought he could stop me, so I had to get rid of him too. I made sure my boys moved across the country, and I had everything set up perfectly. Oh, but my rebellious grandson had to move back into his old grandmother's home. Hiding that tunnel from him and our history wasn't hard. He was never very bright. But he had to get a job working for Eldon and met Amy. And no family of mine would marry a thief. I tried talking them both out of it, but Amy was so stubborn, so this was the only way. She looked just like her grandmother, too. So it was easy to kill her. I wanted Gareth to call it off before her body was found, and why I had my staff beat him up. I went after they were finished to try and talk to some sense to him, but you know what that boy did? He said no. He went on about this nonsense about how much he loved Amy, like her grandparents didn't take everything from me.
So your solution was to take everything from Gareth and from Eldon?
There is no room in my heart for traitors.
Eldon, Amy, and Gareth have done nothing to you. They had no say in the events that altered your life.
I don't care. I don't care. I want them to feel how greed can destroy all the pain that I felt for years.
You took my best friend from me because of a house? A house that's still standing? Do you hear yourself right now?
Shut up! What's done cannot be undone, even if I could have.
Serena, even after everything?
Well, now the reveal is over. Hands where I can see them. You are under arrest for the murders of Amy Sterling and Gareth Stevens. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you do or say can and will be used against you in a court of law.
Robert goes to handcuff Serena. She evades him with surprising speed. She grabs Eldon and drags him to one side of the stage. She whips out a gun and points it at Eldon's side.
Everyone stand back. The Sterlings have a lot of money, but that's not nearly enough to put Eldon back together if I have to shoot him.
Whoa. Let's take a minute here.
No! I'm going to leave. There's a car waiting outside for me, and thankfully my other grandson gave me a heads up.
Ugh, Norman, I knew it.
You knew what's good for you. Good for Eldon. You wouldn't follow me or try to stop me.
You helped raise Eldon. You don't even have the slightest bit of love or compassion in your heart to just forgive what his ancestors did. He didn't do anything to you.
There is no room in my heart for traitors.
Not quite.
What?
You keep saying that you won, but you've lost everything too. You killed your husband, you sent your sons away from you, you killed your adopted daughter and grandson. You turned the other into a fugitive on the run. You had a great living situation, and now you've thrown all that away. You've taken everything that you could have found joy in, thrown it away.
Don't try to appeal to my heart that's not here anymore. Now back away or I'll shoot him!
You can't!
Just watch.
No, she means you literally can't.
Safety's on.
Serena stops pointing the gun at Eldon to check the safety. Ruth leaps at her and tries to wrestle the gun away. Neo grabs Eldon and they dive behind Robert's desk. Robert yells for backup and goes to help Ruth get the gun from Serena. Ruth finally gets the gun from Serena and slides it towards Mika. Mika kicks it off stage. Serena jabs Ruth in her side and then shoves Ruth to the ground. She turns and punches Robert, and he goes down hard. Serena runs off stage. Some officers run in. Robert waves them in the direction Serena went. Officers run after her.
What took them so long? Why did she have such a great left hook?
Ruth groans and starts getting up.
You all right there, champ? We both kind of took a beating there.
Everyone else all right?
Minka nods as Neo and Elvin get up and move around Robert's desk.
We're all right, thank you.
I'll see if I can catch up with my officers. Serena couldn't have gotten far. Feel free to skedaddle when you need to.
Robert gets up and darts out of the room.
I'm so sorry, guys. We had her, but she might have just slipped away.
Knowing who and why helps in a way. So thank you. She was right though. In a way, she won.
Elvin?
Eldon looks as if he's either seen a ghost or the role has been snatched from under him. He takes a beat to respond.
I've truly lost everything. Grace, Amy, Garrett, and Serena. I didn't know my parents did that to Serena. I would have done everything to fix it. But she took my daughter from me, and now I can't even return to my home. There's no way I can keep staying here. What should I do now? What was that word you used earlier? Unfortunate? That doesn't even begin to describe it!
Hey, it's gonna be all right, man. I can't begin to imagine the pain you're in, but we both lost someone in this. We can chat over coffee if you'd like.
Sure. That coffee shop between 5th and 7th is a favorite of mine. Amy and I used to go all the time.
Really? Gareth and I would go almost every day. Dude, I get black coffee there religiously.
So interesting. I only drink my coffee black.
We're gonna be just fine, man.
Neo and Eldon walk out together chatting. Minka and Ruth are left standing there.
We did it, but I get it. People feel like one of the
We uncovered the truth. That's all we can do. Now Eldon and Neo can heal knowing what happened to their loved ones, and Serena will hopefully be found and spend the rest of her life in a cell. The truth hurts, but it's important.
You might be on something.
I think I am too. You think if we catch up to Eldon and Neo, he'll buy us coffee too?
Maybe, but when we find out.
Ruth and Minka race each other out of the office. Lights fade, end of play.
Hey everybody, thank you for coming to the New Works Festival tonight. We're going to transition now into the talkback portion of our evening, which will be about a 20-minute session with our playwrights. As we invite you to stay for that, and we'll invite our playwrights for tonight back up to the stage. Quinn, Xavier, Hernandez virtually, and then Isaac Gibbs, Nath, Kapoor, and Alysha Matthews. My name is Emily Enlow. I'm a senior theater arts major. I'm the president of Order of Furman Theatre and co-producer of the New Works Festival. I'm going to take a moment to introduce Quinn, our dramaturg for the New Works Festival, and then they'll give us some rules of engagement for the talkback. Quinn Xavier Hernandez is a theater maker currently residing in Atlanta, Georgia. They received their BA in Performing Arts with a minor in Dramatic Writing from Clemson University in May of 2018. They currently serve as Working Title Playwrights Assistant Managing Director. Quinn is also a founding member of The Cultivators, an Atlanta-based new works development organization empowering its member playwrights to create original and impactful works of theater and film. Quinn workshopped their play, Death Before Decaf, with Furman Theatre's new Play Development Lab MAX program in May of 2021. And we're excited to welcome them back as the dramaturg for the New Works Festival.
So great to see everyone here tonight. Thank you all so much for being here and supporting New Works, especially at the university level. Before we start our talkback, I just want to lay out some rules of engagement that will help us keep this moving. So rule number 1, raise your hand to speak and we will call on you. Rule number 2, if you agree with something that you hear tonight, snap. This way we can save space and time, so we're not repeating the same pieces of feedback over and over again. Rule number 3, we want to make sure that we're being constructive and courteous. This way that our feedback can actually be heard by the playwrights and not have to be filtered through a whole bunch of different mental gymnastics. Rule number 4, we want to try to avoid using the words like and dislike. Those are super subjective and not super helpful for the playwrights. We want to make sure that the playwright is able to, again, take our feedback, but we can't really write for any one person's particular tastes. So we have to kind of think in terms of like what resonated with us or what we were confused by, things like that. Rule number 5, we want to avoid suggestions on how to rewrite the play. If you heard something tonight that you were super inspired by, fabulous, go write a play. But we don't want to write these plays for the playwrights themselves. Rule number 6, we want to always speak from I, so using I statements. We can only ever speak about our experience. We never want to try to speak for a group of people or for everyone else around us, because we all have different perspectives. And lastly, we want to be mindful of the potential gap for between intention and impact. So just because we say something doesn't mean that the way it's perceived by someone else is necessarily how our intention, like they don't necessarily align. So we just want to be mindful of that gap and make space for it. And with all of that, I will now turn it back over to Emily to lead the talkback.
Awesome, thank you, Quinn. So we're gonna go through this in order of the way that you saw these plays tonight. So we're gonna actually start with Quinn's piece, Storm Clouds for Lonely Hearts. So Quinn, do you want to tell us just briefly about how this play was developed, how it came to be?
Yeah, so I initially wrote Storm Clouds as a short scene assignment during my time at the National Theatre Institute, and that was in 2017, so it's been a little bit, but I've just been working on it and figuring out exactly how it lives and breathes, and I've been very lucky here with Furman to get to work with my friend Lauren French, who is also a fellow Clemson alum, and figuring out really like who these characters are and how it moves in the space.
Awesome. So our first question for you all is, what resonated with you? So what images or moments stood out to you while you were watching the play? Yeah, William.
The collision on the bus.
Love at first sight.
The awkward of not knowing how to date a person.
Yes, in the back.
The freedom of expressing myself romantically.
Yeah,
Creating imagery through sound.
Finding safety from the weather, in the emotional weather.
All right, we can transition now to our second question, which is actually asking what questions do you all have? So this is more about the content of the play, whether it's character motivations, plot, anything like that, rather than developmental things. So what questions were you left with? Yeah, Seth.
I guess what led you to the decision of putting the
impact do the events have from being backwards in time?
So that was actually part of the assignment originally. We had to tell another your story, and I just ended up going from the end to the beginning, I guess.
Yeah, there was a question in the front here. That was also my question. Awesome, a double question about the backwards timeline. Anything else? Yeah, Anna.
Do you feel done with this piece, or do you want to write it into a full-length play, or into anything longer?
I think at this moment, I feel like the play is done in this version. I'm currently considering turning it into a short film. I think that might be fun, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, Lucy.
Why were the events on the bus more about the movement of the bus and not about them meeting?
So why the focus on the movement of the bus rather than the moment of meeting?
I think because life happens that way. There's a whole bunch of little coincidences. I literally just the other day found out that I met a good friend of mine that I met when I moved here to Atlanta, actually my freshman year of college, when he came to do a show with a touring group, and I had no idea that I had met him. So it's all those little things of passing people in passing and not knowing that they're going to have an impact on you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Quinn. We're going to move now.
Thank y'all.
We're going to move now to Nath's play, Moratorium. Yeah, you can.
Hello. This play wasn't, or this scene wasn't originally a horror, terrifying moment, but I knew it would start with a moment between, a relationship between a patient and a doctor in a clinical setting, and I wanted to focus on a moment of mystical terror within a transactional scene, everyday scene, like therapy, which is what this is supposed to be. And I guess the ending was kind of inspired by a theory from an anthropologist named Desmond Morris, who theorizes that everything we do in life relationally is an attempt to return back to our mother's womb. So I actually haven't told the cast that, or anybody. I wanted to. But so this play, I think it's very unsettling and it's terrifying because it puts that theory very explicitly. It shows that very explicitly. So, yeah.
And what is your name? What do you do here?
Oh, I'm Nate. I'm a junior. I do some things here. I'm a student.
So we're going to go back to what resonates with you after watching Moratorium. Images, feelings, specific moments. Yeah.
The power of silence.
Silence.
On stage.
Yeah. The idea that there's a right or wrong way to heal. Sage, did I say again? No? Okay.
The juxtaposition of a total lack of reliability in a figure that probably should have the ability to have us trust it.
Yeah. Unreliability of a trustable figure. Yeah, Emily.
The anxiety that comes with being vulnerable.
terrifying motherhood is.
So what questions are you left with?
Why was she so mad?
Why was she so mad?
You can answer either, you don't have to, you can absorb it.
We talked about this during rehearsals, and one question we thought about was like, why this session? Because they said that this patient had been going to her before, so why this session? And that's something I don't even have a guess for yet, so think about it.
Yeah. So going off of that, was that her personality, do you think, in general, or was that just the culmination of all the frustration?
I think it wasn't her personality, and it was something new for the boy, and he was shocked by it and didn't know what to do. I don't know what that has to do.
Yeah,
What grants woman the power to be able to absorb boy?
I want to write more stuff, but I want to keep playing with this idea of using mystical like rituals and modern spaces, and the whole breathing exercise and hypnosis and entrance into the boy's memory, I think hopefully will all set the stage for that absorption. It's definitely some sort of magical thing. It doesn't follow the rules of our world.
Yeah. Oh, why did she keep getting fingers from her?
I picture that as like the early signs that it was working, that something was working. Yeah. Or maybe she was being reminded of her grief, because I think her and the boy were both grieving. She was grieving a child, he was grieving his friend. So that moment when he like kinks, and she's like, no. That's like the moment when they start to connect. And
Yeah, last question.
What was written on her notepad? Like, it's not so bad.
What was written on the notepad?
I don't know yet.
Well, thank you, Nate. We're going to move now to Space Station 420.
Hello, my name is Gibbs. I wrote Space Station 420 as a part of a screenwriting class taught by Jeffrey Gunn over the summer, and I adapted it and added the narrator character for the New Works Festival.
So what resonated with you all from Space Station 420?
Yeah. It felt a lot like Hitchhiker's Guide, but like on crack.
Yeah, Eric?
Yeah.
What else? What other images, moments, feelings are you left with? Yeah.
I love that it was like this big, powerful, like evil goddess, and then her name was Nath. Just so simple.
Lots of tentacles. Tentacles. Yeah, William.
The bodyguards being identical.
All right, so what questions do you all have?
How did this come to you?
I like the idea of space. I like the idea of an unsung, unexpected hero, and I just went with that.
Yeah.
So the addition of the narrator, do you feel like that made it funnier or better, or do you wish you could have left that person out?
Yeah, at first I was dreading having to add that character. I thought it was going to make it less funny, but fantastic job by Eric to shape that character and make it fit into the play. So I do like the addition.
Any other questions for Isaac?
You still hope to produce a short film?
Yeah, I'd love to do it. It was initially written as an animated short film. I think that's the form I would love it to be in if it got produced. Yeah, I don't know how to do that, but.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Isaac.
Thank you.
And we're going to move now to our final show of the night, the unfortunate case of the corpse bride, Alysha.
Hi, my name is Alysha. The unfortunate case of the corpse bride came out of a really funny place of reflection that I was kind of thrown into, as I unfortunately lost some people at the beginning of this year. So I was just like reflecting the idea of time and the lack thereof. And this play kind of came out of me wanting to write about that, but also not wanting to write about that. Hence why I hit so many touch topics, but don't dive into much of them. So, yeah.
Awesome. So what resonated with you from Corpse Bride? Yeah, so.
The good puns. That was
Yeah.
Knitting needles are dangerous.
The unassuming form of a killer.
The bad natural
Yeah.
the sexism and racism.
The useless cop.
So what questions are you all left with? Yeah, William.
Did Serena have a plan on how to take down the family before her grandson happened to converge with Amy?
I'd like to think yes. I'd like to think her whole life has been one big plan. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm gonna say yes with a maybe.
Yeah,
Did you storyboard? How did you keep the through line of your story?
So I wrote it, realized it didn't make sense, wrote it again, realized it didn't make sense. Then I made a timeline, wrote it again, didn't make sense, wrote it one more time. Okay, just trial and error.
Going into this writing process, did you know who you wanted the killer to be, or did it come later?
Yes. Fun information. I wrote this topic before in high school, and that pre-draft, the old lady did it there. So I was like, why not play with that in a different sort of setting? So yes, but because I did it previously.
Yeah, last question.
Were Ruth and Minka inspired by real life people or anything?
Yes, yes. Ruth and Minka came out of me wanting to have a strong female duo. Also, I just know a lot of strong women, and I just pulled characteristics from them, threw them into Ruth and Minka. So, a plethora of people, yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Alysha, and thank you to Isaac and Nath as well. Feedback cards with the specific questions from the playwright back by the box office on your way out. Really